Hello everyone and welcome to FITESCast, the show where we bring you the latest in PC gaming news and what is going on within the Fights community. I am your host, Mahoney Badger, and today we're talking about that glorious Star Citizen and, of course, the International Four. Hey fellow citizens of the verse, yes, we have hit yet another stretch goal for the fundraising in Star Citizen. At the $48 million mark, what we got was a new commercial for the Retaliator, which is something everybody looks forward to, but at the same time, it's just another commercial, and it's just one that's going into the lineup of commercials that are already being made. Coming up is the Constellation and the Cutlass, and then we as the fan base got to pick which one goes next into the lineup. I don't know if that's really a great stretch goal for another $2 million that pushed you up over $48 million. But it is what it is, and I guess, as a means of making up for it, the next stretch goal that was announced at the $50 million mark is for an actual linguist to be hired and brought into the RSI, and they are going to make actual languages for the alien races within Star Citizen. The Banu, the Vanduul, and the Xi'an are both going to get actual languages, and people will be able to add them to the repertoire. I will be able to speak Xi'an and the Klingon soon enough. Let's also keep in mind that all of this fundraising to get to $48 million and pushing over to $50 million is still entirely crowdsource funded. There is no AAA producer or company like EA or anybody else behind this. It is just this team of developers working on this game and have been churning out great updates and other things to keep people excited for the game to the point where they are donating this much money and buying ships for a game that isn't even released yet. Guilty as charged. But just remember that $48 million is a lot and $50 million seems like a lot, and it is. But the upcoming game Destiny, that is predicted to cost around $500 million for the whole shebang. That's with the development and the advertising and the sales pitch and the release date things. All that stuff is going to cost around $500 million. Star Citizen has a long way to go to hit that point, but fortunately for them, not being a AAA company, there's less middlemen and other people to appease, and the marketing budget may not actually need to be that big. They've already got so many people signed on board that they may not need to spend so much money in the marketing and the release date activities kind of thing. Who knows, but we are along for the ride and we'll see where it takes us. And I'm sure you've heard by now the International Four. Congratulations, Team Newbie. You won. Awesome job. All top 5 players there, the 5 players on that team, have been thrust immediately into the top 5 earners for video game earnings ever, just in one tournament alone. That's how successful the International Four was. Also so successful, the main events in the pre-show were on ESPN2, like the actual channel, and they were being shown on ESPN.com as part of the ESPN2 coverage. eSports made it. Woohoo! Well, maybe not entirely, but it should be a very telling factor that eSports made it here, probably because of the money. There was a lot of money online in this tournament, and that's why it got so huge, so renowned, and so many people invested their time into it. And ESPN covered it because it was so much money. And unfortunately, that's probably what it's going to take to get esports online further in America and in the North American scene. Hopefully companies will invest in things like that, and hopefully we as players can give them reason to, because we show up to things like LAN events where we play games that are LAN capable, like Dota 2 and CSGO and Team Fortress 2. Who knows what the next great game is going to be. There's been quite the debate going on with some of my friends over what will be the other game that fills that role for esports in North America. Dota 2 has definitely made its mark and is definitely going to be getting some recognition here in the United States. StarCraft 2 has always been a big scene, but it's a little much to get into with the real-time strategy bit and everything else. Personally, my thoughts, Counter-Strike Go is looking to be one of the ones, and mostly for a few reasons. All the items are already there. once you start the game up, and it has competitive mode built into it. There's no special rules, no special leagues to adhere to, and as much as I would love to see Team Fortress 2 be the one that takes that spot, because it's also just silly with shenanigans, there's a long way to go before TF2 makes a strong, competitive, international scene for esports, if you ask me. Definitely, if you're watching this channel, you should also be watching EX Television. Xtine over there has a lot to say about esports and TF2 and what he's doing to invigorate that community and press for esports with Team Fortress 2. So if that is your game of choice, check it out. Be sure to watch him and tell him that FITESCast sent you. So today's forum tip actually comes from user Cupcake over on the Fights forum. He is over on our swap meet selling a couple items, a gaming mouse and some hands-on throttle and stick, HOTAS as they're called, flight sticks from Thrustmaster. I have the same sticks myself. They're great, entry-level to mid-level sticks, and if you are getting in on the verse and want to do that Star Citizen action, those might be what you want, and he's selling them for a really good price. Head on over to our forums, the swap meet section. There will be a link in the description below as to where you can find that, and you can pick yourself up some sweet flight sticks or that Razer gaming mouse if that is your thing. Hey Fights, what you playing? So what are we playing? Well, really it's still just a hodgepodge of everything. There are so many games that have been purchased from the Steam Summer Sale and games just sitting in our library. Hop on into the TeamSpeak and see what other people have and see what we've got going on. Remember, just because we don't have a channel for it in the TeamSpeak right now doesn't mean other people don't have it. Trine 2. I want to have somebody play some Trine 2 or some Torchlight 2. Those are sitting installed on my computer, and I have come nowhere close to finishing them. I don't think I even started Torchlight 2. So somebody, let's get in on that and make that action happen. Thank you, everyone. That is all we have for this episode of the FITEScast. In case you haven't heard, Fights is having a Mini-LAN event at the end of September. That would be the weekend of the 26th and the 27th. It will start on the 26th and end at around 2 a.m. on the 27th. That is in New Holland, PA. Now, this is one of our small-scale mini-LANs. 40 seats max. Not the big 250-man LAN. It's a much more quiet and intimate setting, but it's a lot of fun because you just stand up and see who wants to play whatever game. And usually we get a whole bunch of people in on some large group server games and have ourselves a blast. So head on over to fights.net if you would like to register up for that mini-LAN. Bring a friend with you, have yourself some good time, and I'm sure we're going to be cooking up some grub for that one, so come on by.